As we look at what's happening in the world and we look at what's happening in this region, there's been a lot of questions as to why are Americans showing up? Like, this is not getting a lot of coverage in the mainstream media, or really any coverage in the mainstream media at all. Raise your hand if you've seen like your nightly newscast covering the fact that American soldiers are in Ukraine fighting against Russian soldiers. You're probably not seeing that. In fact, there are a number of American soldiers. They're technically listed as volunteers, but they're fully outfitted in all sorts of gear that clearly was provided to them by the United States military. They are there going village to village in what they're saying is liberation of these Ukrainian towns. Listen to James Vasquez. He is an American. I don't know what his rank is, but he's there leading a group of other American soldiers going village to village. And he's been posting on social media. He's gotten some criticism about this because people are saying, hey,
we're not supposed to be there.
You're not supposed to be there. But also geolocation data is showing exactly where you are when you make these posts. So be careful. But anyway, here's what he has to say, and I'll show you some
And wait, the geolocation data does show him in Ukraine.
Oh, yeah. And he's like, don't worry about it. He's like, we're not even in these villages long enough for anyone to find us. Like, we're here when I post it, but we've already moved on. So don't worry about geolocation. Nothing to see here. Don't worry about that.
All right. So far, we took out 7 Russian tanks. After a long firefight, we took control of the area. Right now, we're going to just kind of sweep around and see what we got left. Some stragglers. Take them out. Call it a day. It's been a long day.
Take them out?
It's been a long day, baby.
Yeah, we're Americans. We're here. And so Ukrainian embassy is dealing with, a lot of U.S. citizens trying to get into the war. They've had thousands of people who thought, like, at the early stages of this, hey, we want to go help. We want to go help and fight because we think, obviously Russians invaded here, so this is unwarranted. We want to go help. But they're saying, like, we're having to really turn people away. And they're saying, like, the U.S. government discourages Americans from going to fight in Ukraine, which raises legal and national security issues. Since the February 24th invasion, the embassy in Washington has heard from at least 6,000 people inquiring about volunteering for the service. Half of the potential volunteers were quickly rejected and didn't make it into the Zoom interview. Who's interviewing people for this? Like, okay, I don't get this.
This is not sanctioned.
It's probably one of those safari things. It's like, hey, we've got giraffes, we've got this, and we've got Russians. Like, you apply here.
Come on over here. You want to shoot some Russians?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you Don Jr.? You want to go take your picture with a dead elephant after you shoot it? You want to go shoot some Russians? Like, for a lot of these guys who grew up like watching like Red Dawn in the 1980s, Red Dawn, yeah. Like, this is an opportunity, right?
This is, but you know what the problem is? So many, but one of which is that once those people are captured and then held hostage, it will cost our taxpayer dollars to get them back, because that is part of our social contract, is that when you get yourself involved in international conflicts, the United States military will come for you. So,
well,
and if he's not even willing to hide his geolocation, he's not playing it very smart. And these kind of things are usually never sanctioned by the military in any branch. In fact, I'll tell you a background story. Clayton's brother-in-law works for a military branch, which is the NOAA Corps. And once he sent pictures of just like, I think it was just like dolphins or something that they had seen, remember?
Yeah.
And Clayton either you showed it on Fox or you put it on your social media or something like that. And they were like, do not do that. And it was just like he was out to see, here's a dolphin.
Yeah.
And he couldn't do that, right? You're not supposed to share anything like that, period. Which makes me think these are not sanctioned
Well, of course,
videos.
no, these are volunteered. These are volunteers.
It has to be somewhat sanctioned, because how are they getting all those weapons over there? It's not,
well,
when
here,
they get there, somebody's got to be handing them to them.
Let me go through this.
David, you live in America. Guns are at the Walmart.
I know, but you can't take it on a plane over to Ukraine with you.
Let me go through this. So here, they must make so far about 100 U.S. citizens have made the cut in this interview process, which I would love to know, like, who's getting interviewed in this? Like, who's putting up these interviews?
And how are people finding it?
They include veterans of the Iraq War and Afghanistan, in Iraq and Afghanistan with combat experience, including some helicopter pilots. the attaché, said. I want to be known as an attaché. They must make their own way to Poland. They have to buy their own ticket to get to Poland, where they're then allowed to cross at a specified point. They're allowed in with their own protective gear, but without a weapon, which they will get after they arrive. Then they will be required to sign a contract to serve without pay in the International Legion for the Territorial Defense of Ukraine. The Ukrainian government says about 20,000 foreigners from various nations have already joined. Okay. And Canada, liberal lawmakers in Canada, they're helping to facilitate their recruitment in Canada. About 1,000 Canadians have applied to fight as well.
Are they sending out an email? Like what? How are they finding these people? Like posting online?
You remember when Zelensky made his big announcement a few weeks ago? He's like, come fight for us.
Yes.
Come fight for us. Come join us here. But
apparently that's all anybody needs. Like, you don't have a child to raise at home. You're going to walk away from diaper changing and go do that.
But the problem is, so these troops come there, right? And they're like, oh, okay, we've heard so much about Ukraine being this amazing place and the Ukrainian army. We're going to help the Ukrainian army. Turns out it's not as easy as that. Right. It might be easy for James Vasquez, who's by himself with a group of other Americans. But when you're now joining up with the Ukrainian army, this is what you're finding out. So this is an American infantryman. He went to fight alongside of these individuals. His name is Henry. And he got there and he said, it turns out it's a total crap show. Listen to what he has to say.
Our base got f***ed up. The base right next to us got f***ed up. Americans, British, tons of British dead. They're trying to send us to Kiev with no weapons, no kit, no plates. So they told us we had to get the fuck out, or they were going to shoot us in the back. When you get to the border, anyone who has kit, anyone who has any military, they're fucking pulling you out of the line and they're sending you back to the front. People need to stop coming here. It's a trap, and they're not letting you fucking leave.
Okay, so that was expletive laden, and we did not warn you.
Well, he's being, and he said, look, they're telling you to go back and fight. Like, no, this is not what I signed up for. Like, you guys are leading a crap show here. Like, we're seeing also that Ukrainian citizens are being killed. Like, we didn't sign up for this. This is not what's being advertised to us on CNN, by the way. Mm-hmm. So we want out of here. No, you're not going out of here. You're not going anywhere. Go back.
Sorry, we didn't mention that you'll be killing ethnic Russians.
Right.
From the other side of Ukraine.
I mean, here's more.
Another day in paradise.
These are the Americans. This was shared on social media last night.
Got a couple guys that got shot just a little while ago. Going to the rear with a tank. Got my man right there, my commander. He's got the USA patch on the shoulder. Got burning buildings. We got mortars. We got rockets.
We love this thing.
That's a
fun
house.
Stuff to make it a beautiful day.
A beautiful day.
We got the American patch on the shoulder. We got a burning house. We got mortars. We got everything to make it a beautiful day.
I don't know if you guys know what this is behind me, but that's a Russian tank. Russian tank that was taken out.
You know what's really sad about all this, though, is there are a bunch of people that are cheering this on.
Welcome to America. Welcome to America.
You're not in America.
What'd you say, David?
I said the sad thing is there's so many people that are cheering this on, that are like, yes, rah, rah, America, go over there, kill them.
Yeah. I mean, you should read through the tweet thread after James Vasquez tweeted this. They're like, you go, brother. Way to go, man. And look, they went in, they liberated this for 30 days. This particular village had been controlled by Russians. So they went in, these Americans, soldiers, and liberated this village from Russian soldiers in Ukraine. Like, okay, on its face, great. Thank you for helping. But look at the broader, larger consequences of all of this. I mean, just listen to the president just a few days ago.
The idea that we're going to send in offensive equipment and have planes and tanks and trains going in with American pilots and American crews, just understand, and don't kid yourself, no matter what you all say, that's called World War III, okay? Let's get it straight here, guys. That old expression, don't kid a kidder.
Yeah. Under some circumstances, Americans could face criminal penalties or even risk losing their American citizenship by taking part in an overseas conflict, according to federal law enforcement officials on this story. U.S. citizens aren't required to register overseas. The State Department says it's not certain how many have even entered Ukraine since the Russian invasion began.
So this is so let me get this straight. There's a private company somehow doing online campaigns or knowing how to contact ex-soldiers in a way to get them to volunteer to go over there. They're getting them there. They're giving them weapons, and it's not sanctioned by our government at all whatsoever. Like, no. How does that happen? There's no way. There's no way our hands aren't on it.
Of course. I mean, that's the thing. Like, so they're doing these Zoom meetings. I just don't get it. I mean, they're having like these, discussions at the Pentagon, or who's doing this? Like this attaché.
Then it has to be organized to give them a weapon. You're entering a country, and then they're just there waiting for you, and like, here's your weapon,
he
here's
did
your grenades.
say you have to get yourself to Poland.
You have to get yourself to Poland.
And if you have a kit, so somehow you've traveled with it, or
I guess you bring your body armor and your
already
helmet.
found it in Poland, or maybe you have Jason Bourne resources where you know where to pick this stuff up.
Yeah,
Like
it's
a
like
drop?
you don't
Like a
know where
special
you got
drop?
this.
Yeah. And then you get to the checkpoint, and then you're handed all the machinery, you're handed all your grenades, you're handed your weapons and everything.
Well, he said they don't have it for us. But if you BYO'd,
yeah.
then you're set to the front. Otherwise,
But how are you gonna? You can't bring grenades and and magazines and M16s and AR-15s and all that in a plane.
Yeah.
these are
I
not the
don't know
rules
how-
of engagement that you and I are used to living by.
Yeah.
So.
And another thing that bothered me about that is the fact that they're sitting there and they said these buildings are on fire. That was a house. That was clearly a house.
Yeah.
Making it sound like
it's
it's
in a
some
neighborhood.
building.
Well, they were in this village. I mean, again, this is James Vasquez. This is the guy you can watch him on Twitter, and you can see his Twitter feed as he posts regularly.
Good, because
from
I'm
there.
missing some toxic male masculinity.
You need that.
That's what
you know.
I'll
You
do.
want to join? Go on over there. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight these Russians.
Not enough of that in my feed.
If you like this content, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, we have a membership program. For the price of a cup of coffee once a month, you can support independent journalism just by going to morninginvest.com/join.
You get access to exclusive videos, plus the ability to join and chat with us live. We really appreciate your subscription, and you are supporting independent journalism.